On the 3rd of August 2020, exactly 1 year ago today, I decided to share my TARDIS creation with the world, or at least a very small corner of it. It was a build I'd created months before that I was pretty proud of, and I thought some other people might want to see it or even build it too. And guess what? They did. So I decided I might do something with it. I made a second part to the tutorial, and then I did it again. I started work on a new TARDIS, and again, and again, and again. In between, I started making new videos, new content. I then took a break from the tutorials and decided to start an SMP. I started streaming on YouTube, then on Twitch. I made a Discord server and a Twitter account, and built up a community outside of video making. I reached milestones, 50 subs, 100, 200, and now 300. I worked hard almost every single day to create entertaining and helpful videos for whoever wanted to watch them for whatever reason, and here we are. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it, about the past and the future, about any questions people may have, about stuff I've never revealed or talked about before, about everything I have done over the course of a year. This is my 1 year anniversary of YouTube and the world of DT10. Hey everyone, I'm DT10 and this is my very special 1 year anniversary video. This video is separated into chapters, so if you would only like to see a particular part of this video, then you can skip to it easily. However, I can recommend watching the whole thing as lots of time and effort has gone into making this. We will start with the past and what's happened so far, then look to the future of my content too. Finally, I will finish with answering all questions from the Q&A I've been hosting recently, so make sure to watch until the end. Anyway, on with the video and I hope you enjoy it. Over the last year, I've created almost 50 videos and streamed over 30 times on both YouTube and Twitch. Now that may not be a lot compared to other content creators, but these videos on average take about 5 to 6 hours each behind the scenes, including building, recording, editing, and uploading, and my average stream length is about an hour and a half. Speaking of stats, I've created over 12.5 hours of content within these 50 videos, or 12 hours, 39 minutes and 50 seconds to be exact. This means that my average video length is roughly 16 minutes and 31 seconds overall. I've also accumulated almost 27,000 views total, with around 1,300 hours of people watching my videos. With the numbers out of the way, let's look at these content changes too. As you're probably all aware, I started my YouTube journey with TARDIS tutorials. These tutorials that I'm still creating today focus on designs for each Doctor's interior and exterior in order. Well, order-ish. I started with the New Who series, including 9th, 10th, 11th, 1st and 2nd TARDISes, 12th and then 13th. I then took a break to focus on some new content, and now I'm focusing on the classic series. I started with the Ruth TARDIS, as chronologically that is first, then completed the 1st, 2nd and 3rd Doctors. I will continue to do these TARDISes in the coming months, but more on that in the future content section of this video. Next up is Sokfo. This series, otherwise known as Some Other Content for Once, was purely made for what it says, to give me a chance to make some other videos for once. This series was quite fun to record, however only got 2 episodes, or 3 including episode 0, an introduction to what it was. The main reason I stopped this series was because I got demotivated to make it. These videos still took a very long time to make, and the videos didn't do half as well as my other ones. They were also planned to be all with other people, so finding time to record potentially even in other time zones was difficult. This series is almost certainly never going to return for all of these reasons, although it was definitely a lot of fun while it lasted. I also made a few of, and will continue to make, reviews of both Dalek Mod and Minecraft vanilla updates. There isn't much to talk about with these videos as they are all made in a very similar style. The final thing we are talking about is, of course, Dalek Mod Survival. This series started preparations way back in November of 2020, with first members also arriving this month. We had a slow start, but with the arrival of some new and exciting members, things started to kick off. I won't talk about it too much, as that will come in the future episodes of the SMP, episodes 19 and 20. Speaking of the future, that's now what we'll be covering. Lots of this video will be about achievements over the last year, but I want to look ahead too. What does the future have to hold? Well, let's start with the near future. DMS will be ending within a month, so I have lots of plans after that. However, I would first like to address the lack of Dalek Mod Survival recently in general. This is for many reasons. I've had lots going on over at Twitch, such as the Mine Olympics most recently, as well as the main reason, which is I needed to wait for all of the other survivors to make their minigames and for us to play them before I release episode 19. I've recorded the first half and I've had it done for months now, but the second half will take a long time, so there may be up to 3 or even 4 weeks between episodes. Don't worry though, I have lots planned to fill the gaps, some of which you've already seen. First of all, I'll be continuing my TARDIS tutorial series right up until the War Doctor's interior and even beyond. They will continue at about 1 a month for the next half a year or so. I'll also be continuing my Dalek Mod and Vanilla Update reviews, although they are dependent on when the update releases, which in the case of Dalek Mod Survival will hopefully be this month. I may even do some more Manhunt or Minecraft butt style challenges in the future within the Dalek Mod. Then for the future outside of the next few months. Once Dalek Mod 1.16 comes out, I have lots of content prepared that will be very exciting to make. And of course, as DMS draws to a close, I'll be making a brand new SMP. This one, however, will not be hosted by me, and it will contain lots of familiar faces as well as some new ones. This SMP will be very different to Dalek Mod Survival, however I've learned a lot about general Minecraft and video making in that series, so I'll be transferring lots of it over to this new series. More about it in the form of trailers coming soon, so look out for them. I don't really want to reveal too much more about the future of my channel, so I'll leave it there for now. As always, if you have any suggestions for future content, then don't hesitate to let me know in the comments, over at my Discord server or at Twitter. Now for the bit you've all been waiting for, the answers to all questions asked in the big 1-year anniversary Q&A. If you weren't aware, for almost a month now, I've been hosting a Q&A, mainly in my Discord server, but people have been able to ask questions in Twitch chat, YouTube comments, or at Twitter as well. These questions are all from you guys, so hopefully all your queries will be answered. However, if you do have any more that weren't answered, then please feel free to ask below in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm kind of scared as I haven't looked at many of these questions, but here we go. Oh, and this may or may not include a name reveal. Not really that big of a deal, but I just thought I'd say. So, the first questions come from It's Flynn, one of my admins over here at Discord and a Twitch mod. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel, and how did it feel doing your first live stream? So, my YouTube channel was basically inspired by TARDIS I'd already made. So, I'd already made the 9th and 10th Doctor TARDIS, it's actually Bedrock edition of Minecraft, before I then moved to Java to record some videos, and I thought it would be nice to just share it with some people. So, I did kind of talk about a lot of this in the intro, but I suppose my inspiration was kind of just myself. But actually, you, Flynn, also inspired me a little bit, because around a similar time, you were making your YouTube channel, and I figured I'd start on myself. But you were about the only person around me at the time who actually had a YouTube channel as well, so I guess, yeah, it was mostly kind of me and my build that inspired me to start a YouTube channel. And then, how did it feel doing your first live stream? Very, very scary. So the first live stream I ever did was on YouTube, and yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of just went with it, and I looked at what other people had done in the past, and there's something quite funny about that live stream. It's obviously my least professional live stream I've ever done. However, it's to this day one of the best. I think I peaked at about 16 viewers in that stream, and the highest I've ever got, I think, is about 22 or something over at Twitch. So it's still one of my best live streams. So the next question comes from Hoovian Stories, and it's, how did you get into streaming? That's actually a very good question. So I noticed a lot of Minecraft YouTubers streamed as well, and I didn't really have an opportunity to do that during my TARDIS tutorial series. There's not much you can stream with those, but I was also looking at stuff like Hermitcraft, and a lot of the Hermits stream as well. So once I started Dalek Mod Survival, I knew that I wanted to stream some of it. Next up, there's a question from Alex, a fellow Dalek Mod survivor. How did you get into the idea of doing DMS, and how is it more creative than the other ones? So the idea of Dalek Mod Survival kind of came to light again because of Hermitcraft. I am still to this day a very big lover of Hermitcraft, and I wanted to do something like that for my YouTube channel. So you see, I didn't just want to keep doing TARDIS tutorials, I wanted to do something that's entertaining to watch instead of just helpful. So I wanted to do an SMP, and I thought, why not do one in the Dalek mod? And how is it more creative than the other ones? It's very epic. So the next question comes from the Time Lord Doctor. What's your plans after Dalek Mod Survival is over? Will there be more series like it in the future? And if there's something you wish you did in Dalek Mod Survival earlier but forgot about it, and as it's reaching the end, are you regretting you didn't do it sooner? So these are some very, very good questions. So my plans after Dalek Mod Survival, like I said, is a new SMP, so you can look out for the trailers like that soon. So yes, there will be more series like it in the future. Now, is there something you wish you did in Dalek Mod Survival? That's a very good question. And there's kind of not. There's a couple of things I'm holding back until the finale to do, so you can look out for them in episode 20 of Dalek Mod Survival, which will be releasing in the next month or so. But yeah, I don't think there's many things I've forgotten to do that I want to do, or that I'm not going to be doing in the finale. So the next question comes from Dignity, and it is, what is your real name? Now, I knew this was coming because I did say people could ask that question if they really wanted to, and I did say I'd answer it honestly. So here we go. My real name is Desmond. Desmond Turner. Yeah. No, I'm joking. That's not my name. My real name is actually Joe. Yeah, no, I know what you're all thinking. No, I'm genuinely not even joking. My real name is actually Joe. So, there you go. Name reveal. Now, by the way, you may be wondering why I'm doing this. It's more because a lot of my IRL friends actually know that I have a YouTube channel, and I've had to delete a couple of comments or messages here and there, going sort of stuff like, "Hi, Joe," because I don't really want people knowing my name. And so I figured it would just prevent all of the stuff like that if you all know what my name was. So, there you go. I'm going to completely ignore that question from Piplup and completely ignore that question from the letter O, although it was answered by the Time Lord Doctor. But I'm going to go to the next one, also from Dignity, and that is, what is your favourite school subject? That's a very good question. I, unsurprisingly, do like computer science. I'm quite a big fan of the math side of stuff. I don't like English. I kind of like the maths and sciencey kind of stuff. I do like history, so honestly, I don't really have a favourite, but if you had to, I would probably answer with maths or geography. And the next question is from Ginger. Are you scared to allow so many people to ask basically what they want about you?
Yes.
I think that's probably pretty obvious by now. Anyway, the next question comes from Hex, one of my Twitch mods. Am I your best friend? We're going to ignore that question for now and go to Dr677 with the next question. Will you always have the sub SMP? That's a good question, and to be honest, I will have it for as long as I can. It's a free server, so I'll try to have it as long as I can. If I stop streaming on Twitch, for example, I'll probably have no need for it. But yeah, I'll try and keep it going as long as I possibly can. So the answer is probably yes. So, once again, another question from Dignity. What's the longest time you've spent editing on one video? That's a very good question. I think the longest time I've spent on a video is probably the I Killed Infinity Crusher Dalek Mod Survival episode. I think it was episode 16. I spent a very, very long time creating that, as it kind of was basically like a cinematic thing. So, I think I spent probably in total about 8 to 10 hours just editing that video, let alone recording it and building for it and stuff. That was a very, very long video to make. So the next question, once again, is from Dignity. Do you regret anything with your channel or your Discord or Twitch? And if so, give examples of what you could have done instead of it. So, I don't really regret anything. One of the things I do regret is not moving to Twitch to stream sooner, because I think that was just such a good thing to do, because Twitch is so good for streaming, and if you haven't already followed me on Twitch, you definitely should. But the next question from Whovian Stories is actually very much related to streaming on Twitch. What do you use to stream on Twitch? So I actually use Streamlabs OBS. It's slightly different to OBS, which I use to record videos. And that is the next question from It's Flynn. What do you use on YouTube then? So yeah, I use OBS, Open Broadcaster software, to record YouTube videos, as it's really good for recording videos with. It's very optimized for it. It does have a streaming function, and it is actually what I used when I used to stream on YouTube. However, when I moved to Twitch, I want something a bit more professional and optimized for streaming, so I moved to Streamlabs. So the next one is from Dr677 again. Do you plan on doing anything other than Minecraft? For the near future, I definitely don't. I think Minecraft is my basis, and I will definitely be sticking to that. I do plan on doing some stuff that isn't related to Doctor Who in Minecraft, related to some other stuff, not necessarily modded either, but I think I will be sticking for Minecraft for the foreseeable future. We've then got a question from Teeb, another fellow Dalek Mod Survivor. What's your plans for a series past Dalek Mod Survival? A good question that's already been answered a couple of times in this video, but basically I've got another SMP that will actually be a kind of vanilla style SMP, although with some very cool kind of twist to it, I guess you could say, with loads and loads of other content creators, and that's pretty much what I've got planned after that. What kind of mic do you use? That's a very good technical question from the Whovian Stories. I actually use a Razer Siren X microphone. It's a very good microphone. I can highly recommend it, and it's kind of one of those ones that's a bit freestanding. It's not on my headset. I don't really have a headset. I kind of just have some headphones that I use. Yeah, it's very much freestanding, and I can highly recommend it. It's a very good microphone. So the final question for this Q&A actually comes from, once again, It's Flynn, my admin. Where did you get the name DT10 from? This is a fantastic question, and it's not one I don't think I've ever answered in an actual video, so I always just say it doesn't really mean anything, and that's true, it doesn't mean anything now. However, I actually created this name way back when on the Swud Team forums, before I even had a YouTube channel, and before I'd even made my 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS that sparked my YouTube channel. I actually needed an account for these Swud Team forums for a thing they were hosting called TARDIS of the Week. Now, I basically just needed a name, and I wasn't really sure what to do. So at the time, my favourite Doctor was David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. And you can kind of see where I was going with this. I kind of combined those two things. I got David Tennant, so the DT part, 10th Doctor, so that's the 10th part, squished them together, and I got the name DT10. And I then kind of kept it. I made a YouTube channel of the same name, and it all kind of went on from there. So nowadays, the 10th Doctor isn't actually really my favourite. He's one of my favourites, definitely, but I've got kind of a liking for the 11th Doctor and the 9th Doctor, so who knows, ask me another time and I could have been called MS11. So there you go, all questions answered honestly. Thank you to all of those who asked a question, and I hope you like the answers. I probably won't be doing another one of these for at least a year or two, so please try to avoid asking me to do another one. So there you go, that was my 1 year anniversary special. I really hope you enjoyed it. My content will continue for hopefully a few years to come, and I'll continue to focus on Doctor Who and Minecraft and just some normal vanilla stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or comment, and if you'd like to see more stuff like this, or would like to see the future content I mentioned earlier, then please subscribe. There's not many of you watching are. It would mean a lot to me if you could, as we are now on the road to 400. Thank you all for watching. I've been DT10 for 1 whole year, and I will see you in the next video.